In this video, I'm going to show you how to use subqueries in Laravel and how we can solve a common relationship issue. Hey folks, Human is here. The example we are going to work on today is a human resource system. If you look at the models, we do have an employee model, and there is a relationship between the employee and the salaries. So if you go to the database, we do see we have an employees table with 100 records. These employees are employed within last 10 years or so, and for each employees we are going to have multiple salaries record. Each salary record, it shows the amount, the type, and on the employee anniversary the employee either got a bonus or promotion, which increased their salary. So it's basically one to many relationship. However, these records are considered historical data. So most of the time, we are not interested in employees' salary back in 2011, but we want to see what was their salary in 2020, or what is the latest salary they are getting from the company. If you look at the code, you see that there is a one to many relationship between the employee and the salary. And currently, we have a imaginary sourceful endpoint which returns the list of the employees with their salaries. So if you go back to the Chrome and look, this is a response we're going to get from our API, which contains the employee first name, employee last name, when they've been hired, and the list of their salaries. So now your boss came to you and said, this has started to cause some problems and confusions. The latest salary is the one we are interested in, and we don't care about these unless there is a specific part of the app we want to show the historical data. So the task is on to you. Now you try to fix it. So the first thing you may want to do, we want to add additional field to the employees table, like latest salary ID, which is basically denormalizing the database, which could be a case for some scenarios. But let's see if we can fix this using Laravel subqueries. So let's write some code. What we're trying to do is exactly same as bringing in the salary ID, the latest salary ID to this table, but as a subquery. It's not going to be like the actual field in a database. So it's some sort of the field that we aggregate, get the value, and attach it to the result of the row. So in order to do that, what we can do is saying that add select, and you can pass an array here, which the key array is the name of the field you want to add. And for this instance, is going to be salary ID. And what we want to attach here is going to be on the salary model, or you can basically use the DB facade and find that table. But let's stick with a salary. So here we want to say, go to all the salaries, and we are going to use where column. And the first column we want to check is employees.id is equal to salaries employee ID, right? So we already know that the latest record for the employee on the salaries table is the latest one. So we can either say order by descending created at, or the shortcut for this is going to be using latest, right? And the field we are interested from this table is going to be ID, and we have to limit the number of the records that this query returns to one only, because we are using a subquery. And when we are doing a subquery and we alias it to a field, it should only return only one value, right? So if I do a die and dump in the array version of this collection, you're going to see we're going to have the salary ID for each employee, right? And if you want to verify this on the database table, we are looking at employee ID one, and let's see what is the latest salary ID for that employee. So we go to the salaries table, employee number one, and the latest one is ID 11 on the salaries. So now what we need to do here is, if I go to the employee model, I need to define a new relationship here. So we say public function salary, and we're going to say this. Now, this is like a reverse relationship. So this belongs to the salary, right? Will return only one record. Okay. So, so one additional thing we can do here is we can eager load our salary relationship, and let's quickly modify the employee resource. and saying, instead of give me a collection of the salaries, just give me one salary. So if you go back to the browser and refresh the page with any luck, now we will see the latest salary. And this is not an array anymore. It's just an object which gives me the latest amount and the type. Cool. We got the thing that the boss asked for. In the next video, we will look at how we can narrow down the results based on the query we're going to run on the salaries table. Until next time, cheers.